told you that you're going to use the first half of your PowerPoint for assignment 3. If you got a nice grade on that, use those slides. If you didn't get a nice grade and I told you what was missing, go back and fix what was missing and put those slides in here. But here's what the scenario covers. Your supervisor, the CEO, you're doing this for your executive team. They want you to provide an implementation plan that would allow the organization to go from no integrated management system to full certification. So they want you to put 3 standards in a 1-year period. Anybody on here feel like that's feasible? Anybody? You think that's feasible, Larry?
No. Those 3 standards in 1 year is not feasible.
Oh, no, you mean, actually doing it? No, but I thought you were talking
and to reach certification and to be certified. Somebody raised their hand. Was that you, Gideon? You think that's feasible, Gideon?
No, I do not. Because right
in
now
1 year, all certified in all 3.
No, because right now we're trying to implement something similar called operational integrity management system, and it takes a few years to get through that process.
Say it louder for the people in the back. So I kind of gave you your last answer, but hold tight. So as a part of this plan, your CEO, who to me is unreasonable, would like to see current research on the topic. I'm going to make this easy for you. You will create a PowerPoint to give your supervisor that outlines the following elements: an overview of IMS and benefits of certification to the 3 standards. PowerPoint 3, all the overview of IMS, 9001, 45,000, y'all did that so good. Benefits, reduced duplication, all that, y'all did so great on that. Take those slides, snip them, and put them into your PowerPoint. So that's the first 4 or 5 slides, depending on how many slides you took to give an overview and the benefits. Number 2, you will need a 1-year schedule of activities, but not limited to procedure development, training, auditing, and certification. Go to Party in the text. He lists 5 or 6 steps. Walk through those steps and put a schedule. You don't have to use a Gantt chart, but if you want to use a Gantt chart, that's the easiest way to do it. Month 1 to 2, 3 to 4. It needs to be a 1-year schedule of activities. Don't just put 1 year. We're going to accomplish all the following. You're going to get it wrong. You need to talk about month 1 and 2. What are you going to do? Month 2 and 3. Party lays out a schedule. He lays out all the steps. If you want to use all 6 or 7 in the text, open your text, because you do need sources for this. So you might as well use Party as your main source, our text. And you could just put IMS schedule of activities or IMS activities, and you should be able to pull up integrated management system, ISO, whatever. You should be able to pull up all the stuff that goes into it. It's in the early page numbers in the book. And it's not just procedure development, training, auditing, and certification. It's other things you have to do within the organization. Okay? So that's your next thing. You can put it as a Gantt chart. You can do whatever you want to do. You can put it just a chart, month 1 and 2. You can do whatever. Make it pretty. Great. Step 3. This is where you need to take out paper, or you need to come back and listen to this lecture. An analysis of current research. If I were to go to any of you and I were to say, we're going to put in a new tool right now that our competitors have. Screw thinking about this system. If I were to tell you our competitors put in a new system and they're having phenomenal results. If I were to tell you as the CEO, we need to get those results and we need to put in something similar to Coke and Chrysler, what are you going to do? What is the first thing as the safety manager you're going to do? You read in the paper, they put in this nifty thing and they're reducing all their incidents. Your company is in that same space and you want to use the same tool. What do you do when you say you're doing operational research in real life? If my company was doing something and you wanted to know what we were doing and how we were getting results, what do you
benchmark you?
Yes, you get on the phone and you benchmark what the hell I did, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they mean by research. They don't mean you go out on the web and look up companies can experience 50%. No, your company wants to put this shit in a year. So what do? You go to people who put it in. You don't got
say,
time to waste.
Did you do it in a year?
Go ahead. Yes, but I'm helping you with this because you're also going to give your CEO a dose of reality. And a lot of times when they say another utility put this in and they're having great results, you start calling that utility, and what do? You take that information, you go back to your CEO and say, yeah, let me tell you what they did. They spent a whole lot of money. They made a whole lot of mistakes. So we can bypass that stuff. This is called operational research. But here are their pitfalls. And that's exactly what you're doing. In the text, you have a little hourglass. If you type in Chrysler or you type in Amazon or you type in the names of companies, the text is going to lead you to a paragraph that tells you a lot of companies who put in integrated management systems. You only need to select two. So when you are doing research, here are all the things you need to know. You need to do research of IMS and schedule of tasks. So the first thing you're going to tell me is the name of the two companies you're investigating. Two slides for each company. Chrysler. What do? They make cars. They got 50,000 employees. They're based out of Michigan. I'm making it up. They put in 9,001. They put in 45,001. They did not put in 14,001. Remember, 2 or more standards are considered integrated. Not every organization is going to put in 14,000, 9,000, and 45,001. But for the purposes of this assignment, you need to find a company in the text who has put in at least 2 of the 3 systems we are studying. So Chrysler, they put in 14,001 and they put in 45,001. What task did they do? How long did it take them to do it? They're going to tell you in some articles it took them some years to do. So you want to do name of company, information on company, size of company, what they do. You want to do standards implemented, 14,001, 45,001. This is an example. You want to do schedule of tasks. They said it took them 18 months for one standard. That is what their standard of task. You ain't got to go down and look at, oh my God, they did training in 6 months. Just find their timeline. There are several articles out there that tell you about these companies' timelines. They'll tell you it took on average 48 months. That's what you're going to find. Once you go in the text and you know you're going to look at Chrysler, then you would go to Google Scholar or the library, the CSU library, and type in Chrysler's safety management, Chrysler 45,001, Chrysler 14,001, or Chrysler integrated safety management system, or Chrysler safety management system is going to pull up an article. They're going to tell you what they did, how long they put it in. They're also going to tell you their benefits and limitations, because remember, this is called research. You're going to share your resources in the references, and you're going to talk about your interpretations of how they did to include benefits and limitations. It will be the same thing if I ask you to call ABC company down the street and see how they put this tool in and why they're preventing all these injuries and what problems they had putting it in and what they have experienced since they put it in. This is what operation research looks like. This is what it looks like in a corporate space. So when you are doing this, because you're going to be an executive, you're going to benchmark with people, you're going to go out here into the world and find out what they're doing. A lot of companies will tell you what they're doing. They'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. They'll tell you how they messed up. At least in my industry, we are no longer competing. We are only collaborating. So I'll tell you, yeah, we tried that and it sucked and we spent a whole lot of money. Or we tried that shit and it's working. And here are some things you need to consider. Don't buy this plan, buy this plan. And that is what you're going to take back to your CEO. And your interpretations are going to be like, yep, Chrysler did this. You got to do 2 companies. Chrysler put it in. Here's who they are. These are the 2 things they put in. They need at least 2 of the systems we're studying. 3 would be ideal, but 2 makes IMS. It took them 48 months, their timeline. Here are the benefits they experienced. Here are the limitations or mistakes and pitfalls. Here's what I gained in my interpretations. It is, it's going to take longer than a year. That is going to be your closer slides. Your interpretations will be your closers, final thoughts. Most systems on average take 24 whatever to months. I'm making this up. We can expect, if we go to full certification, the benefits, you can put benefits, ABC company can expect, and pitfalls to avoid. And so you're going to take 2 slides for each company, and you're going to summarize them into a closer with your interpretations of saying, here's what I learned. I don't need you to go out there and look for frivolous articles on IMS in general. I need you to stick to 2 companies, because if you were doing this in a real world, one, it makes the assignment easier because you're only looking at companies who did it. If you look at Amazon, you're going to see a lot. If you look at Chrysler, you're going to see a lot. If you look at Boeing, you're going to see a lot. It's in the text list companies. When you type in Chrysler and Hourglass, you're going to see all the companies in that one paragraph who have put this stuff in. Pick a company. Most of the manufacturers, the major manufacturers, if they are global and they send their products overseas, they have some type of safety management system, if that's your interest. And that is really the assignment. So for problem number 3, you're going to pick 2 companies. You're going to do operation research. You're going to tell me what systems they implemented. You're going to tell me how long it took them. You're going to tell me what the benefits were and what limitations they experienced. If they say prevented injury, save money, those are benefits. Limitations, maybe they spent more money, maybe it took long, maybe it was a slow adoption because of reasons. Typically, they put that in there. And then you're going to move to the next company, Amazon. Here's the standards they implemented. Here's the time it took them. Here's the things they experienced from a benefit side. Here are the limitations or problems they experienced, the pros and the cons. And then your closer, my interpretation, schedule of activities, 1 year. I will go on each 1 year timeline. May not be feasible. Most companies took on average X amount of months. Benefits company ABC can expect. Here are the things based on the 2 companies that we can expect. Limitations or cons or pitfalls that we need to try to avoid. And you list those, and that is for question 3. The first part, you just snippet it from PowerPoint 1. The second is a Gantt chart or schedule of activities. You want to go in and look at party. The third, you need to actually research the companies. You can start with the text being one of your sources, but you're going to need to go and look at least 3 sources. Chrysler will have one of its source. If you choose Boeing, they'll have another source. There are your 3 sources. I kind of have buttoned this up to make it easy. You don't need to be researching all over the place. They need to be company geared so that you can provide interpretations to your CEO who wants to do this project, telling her the feasibility of it and what things that she should expect. That actually is your lecture for tonight. It says minimum of 7 slides and 3 outside sources. That is really your lecture for tonight. Does anyone have any questions about the assignments?
Oh, I'm going to have a few, Dr. Deal, but I'll wait till the end.
You can go ahead and ask them. Some people may want to hear your questions because some people, I don't think there's anything about a bad question, but go ahead. If nobody else has questions, anybody else has questions before Larry?
I don't have any questions, but I would like to, maybe I'll just call you because I saw your phone.